up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in. If you want to learn how to make these bomb red enchiladas, then come along with me and let's take a look at this list of ingredients as well as the toppings. It's so sweet, simple, short, not too much. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First, we're going to start off with boiling our chicken. Now, I used 2 chicken breasts, and the seasoning that I used was the Chef Merito tenderizer. This seasoning works out for pretty much anything that you need for chicken. Now, I used 2 chicken breasts, which was enough for 4 people. Then you're going to want to boil your chiles guajillos by themselves, nothing else in there, just some water and some chiles guajillos. Once you blend it with your ground cumin, your oregano, your salt, your bay leaf, and some garlic, this is what you want to see. This is the consistency that you're going to want. Not too thick, not too runny, just perfect. So you're going to go ahead and set this aside in a pot, in a pan, whatever you'd like. And once that's done, you're going to want to go ahead and shred your chicken breasts. Now, if you did not clean your chicken breasts before you boiled them, then this is the perfect time to clean it. Get whatever you wouldn't want to bite in, like a nerve or some skin, anything like that. And you're just going to go ahead and shred it up. Now, what I do is once I shred it, I add it back into the water. This keeps the chicken nice and moist. It doesn't let it dry out at all. So it's totally up to you, but that's usually what I do. Now, if you want to make these enchiladas vegetarian, you can always fill them with some potato. I've made them that way before, and they still taste delicious, and they're super filling. Or you can make them how my grandma calls them, sweet enchiladas, which is where you just fill them with some cotija cheese and some onion, and those are really good as well. I usually make myself 1 or 2 of those, even with the chicken. So it's totally up to you. But like I said, right here, I'm just shredding my chicken and adding it back into the water. Now this is what your chicken should look like once it's nice and shredded, chilling back in its water so that it doesn't dry up on us. And now let's go ahead and jump into frying our tortillas. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your tortilla and dip it, a good amount into your sauce. Depends on how red you want your tortillas. I usually wipe it off onto the next tortilla before I put it into the oil. Make sure your oil is nice and hot, because if it's not too hot, then your tortilla tends to break on you, and you don't want that. So you let it fry up for a little bit on the first side. Once you hear it stop sizzling as much, then you want to turn it around. But here I am just, wiping it onto the next tortilla, so it's not too much of the sauce, but it's not too little. And like I said, you don't let it fry too much on either side, because you don't want it to turn into a tostada. They're done pretty quickly, which is another amazing thing about this dish. It's bomb, and it's done pretty quickly, so... And then I just transfer them onto a plate that has a napkin on it, so that as I'm making the rest of the tortillas, it kind of drains a little bit of the oil, so it's not too bad, but As I'm frying my tortillas, I do like to catch up on, some friends. Who else is a Friends fan? I am a fanatic. I've seen them all and I rewatch them all and I can watch them over and over and over again. And then we have Isaac and Isaiah filling the fridge with some waters, because if you want some cold waters, then you gotta help out. You gotta fill them yourself while Mama makes dinner. And then while your tortillas are frying, you can start by chopping up your toppings. So the toppings is pretty simple. You just need to chop up some lettuce if you want some lettuce. The lettuce, you can use whichever one you'd like. You can use the iceberg, you can use the romaine. It's totally up to you and preference. And you just, want some nice long strips. And once your lettuce is nice and cut up, then you want to go ahead and just cube up some onion.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it as far as having to prepare your toppings, other than getting out your queso cotija and your sour cream and your salsa that you would want. Pretty simple, but so good, you guys. So delicious. Alright, so once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into making Isaac and Isaiah's enchiladas. Theirs is pretty simple and quick, so it's just a tortilla, and then I fill them with the chicken. If your kids are afraid of the red, if they, sometimes kids don't want to eat the red tortillas because they think that they're spicy, you can just fry up or heat up a quick tortilla and still fill it with the chicken and top it the same. They don't need to have the red, and it's still just as good. But my kids will eat anything. They don't care, so then it makes it easier for me, and they have the red tortillas. So I just roll her up, and then I cut it up for them because it's easier and they don't make as big of a mess. And I just use some scissors, cut them up, and then I top them for them, and they're ready to go. Now this is the sour cream that we used. This one is definitely a more runny sour cream, and it definitely tastes a little more cremosa, like creamier. But we've also used Daisy. We've used, we use pretty much whatever we have on hand. So it's completely up to you, whatever sour cream you like. It doesn't have to be anything in specific. As well as the cheese, you can use whatever cheese you want. We just really like it better with the cotija. And then we use the queso fresco for the green enchiladas, but it's completely up to you. You can use whichever cheese you want. Alright, and now let's go ahead and get into the fun part, and this is how I typically fill Jonathan's and everyone else's. The only ones that I fill differently are mine, and you'll see that in the next clip. But these you're just going to fill with chicken. As much chicken or as little chicken as you want. It's completely up to you. Now this does get messy, as you guys can see from my fingers, but I mean, if it's not messy, it ain't good, right? And you kind of repeat the process for all of the tortillas. You just fill them with the chicken. Now careful, because if you're doing this as they're coming out, then it is going to be hot, but so worth it. Alright, and now we're going to get into our toppings. So we're just going to lay a bed of lettuce on top of these bad boys. And then you're going to sprinkle it with your cebolla, your onions. And then drizzle some sour cream on top. And then just finish it off with your cheese. And then if you want to add salsa, or you can even eat them like this without the salsa. It's not even needed, but it definitely adds a nice little oomph to it, which is so bomb. And this is your finished product, you guys. Look how bomb these enchiladas look. The plate looks a little messy, but I mean, it was bomb. So this is how I make mine. I like to fill my enchiladas red or green with the toppings inside as well. I just feel like it gives it another little, nice touch, and you get to taste every piece of it as you go along. So I'll add the lettuce and then the chicken, and then I also put some cheese and some onion in there. And if I'm feeling a little, a little extra, I'll add I will also add the sour cream inside as well. But don't get me wrong, I still add everything as it goes as toppings on top as well. So I'll add it inside and outside. And I kind of switch it up with mine. So I'll do one with everything, and then I'll do another with maybe just chicken, and then I'll definitely always make sure to add at least 1 or 2 of just cheese and onion, because I'm telling you guys, those are so good as well. But I feel like I also need a little bit of chicken, so we always make them with chicken. If you have not tried red enchiladas, definitely give this recipe a try and let me know down in the comments how you like it, if you liked it, if you like these or the green ones more, which ones are your favorite. Growing up, the red ones were definitely my go-to plate that my mom would make for us. I absolutely love red enchiladas. As I've gotten older, it gets a little harder to choose between which one is my favorite, but I'll always go back to the red enchiladas. The green ones are bomb too. Don't get me wrong, making these yesterday definitely makes me want to make the green ones pretty soon as well, but let me know which ones are your favorite down below. Alright, and I'm just going to finish these off for myself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for watching the other videos as well. Let me know which type of video is your favorite, which enchiladas are your favorite, or which Mexican plate is your favorite overall. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching once again. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!